All right, let's get into it. What if I told you there's a cheat code, one that's like 2,500 years old, that can help you win almost any challenge without ever throwing a punch? Today, we're cracking open the ancient wisdom of Sun Tzu's The Art of War and turning it into a real-world guide for winning your battles. I want you to imagine for a second a real life or death battlefield. Your heart's pounding, the enemy, they're bigger, they're stronger, they've got better gear. It feels like a guaranteed loss, right? Well, not according to Sun Tzu. But hey, let's bring this down to earth. Forget ancient wars, just think about a challenge you're facing right now. Could be a tough project, a sports game, or maybe even a really, really intense snowball fight.
So meet Alex. He's 12, and he has a huge problem. It's called the Fortress of Doom. Yeah, it's this massive snow fort built by the older, way scarier kids, and it is sitting right on top of the best sledding hill in the whole park. They've got the high ground, a literally endless supply of ammo, and, a pretty bad attitude to go with it. So yeah, the situation looks pretty bleak. Alex is completely outmatched. His small group of friends is just staring up at this thing and charging in head first. That just sounds like madness. It is a classic underdog story waiting to happen. Now Alex, he's full of frustration, and he's about to lead this totally reckless charge straight up the hill. But right as he takes that first step, a shimmering, kind of ghostly figure appears right beside him. He's dressed in ancient robes, and he has this calm, wise look. Think Jedi Master. It's the ghost of the ancient general himself, Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu just holds up a hand. "Stop," he says. His voice is ancient but totally clear. "War is a serious business. It is the ground of death and life." Then, with a little twinkle in his eye, he adds, "So you don't just run in screaming Leroy Jenkins. You have to investigate first." And that is our first huge lesson. Strategy starts with information, not just running in blind.
And just like that, Alex's real training begins. He's about to learn that winning isn't about having the biggest muscles or, the most snowballs. It's about seeing the battlefield way more clearly than your opponent does. It's all about the plan.
So, Sun Tzu explains to Alex that before any great battle, a smart general doesn't just hope for a win, they calculate it. And they do it using 5 secret factors. And this isn't just about war. It's a blueprint for analyzing literally any conflict, from a snowball fight to a huge business negotiation. So, what are these secret ingredients for victory? Sun Tzu lays them out for Alex and for all of us. These 5 factors, they're the absolute foundation of his entire strategy. So let's break them down. Okay, here they are: the way, heaven, earth, the general, and the method. Now, I know they might sound a little mystical, but trust me, every single one is a super practical tool you can use to size up any situation, whether you're launching a new product or just trying to win an argument. First up, we have the way, and you can basically just think of this as the vibe. Is your team on the same page? Do they actually trust their leader? Do they all believe in the mission, which in this case is taking back that hill? If your people are fighting with each other or they don't respect you, Sun Tzu says you've pretty much already lost. But look, a good vibe is only part of it. Next up is heaven, which is really just the stuff you can't control, the environment. For Alex, it's the weather. Is it freezing cold? Is the wind blowing in your face? Or, like you see here, is the afternoon sun blinding your enemy? These little details can totally change the game. Okay, so from the heavens, we move down to Earth, or simply the map. This is the physical battlefield. Who's got the high ground? Are there dangerous choke points, wide open fields, or maybe a secret little path behind the trees that nobody's noticed? The terrain itself is a weapon. You have to use it. All that thinking is useless without a good leader. So, factor 4, the general. A great leader, according to Sun Tzu, isn't just the strongest person. No, they're wise, they're trustworthy, they're humane, courageous, and disciplined. It's about having the brains to make a solid plan and the character to make people want to follow it. And finally, the whole thing is supported by the method. This is all your logistics, your organization, your gear. Who's got better gloves for packing snowballs? Who's got an organized supply line? Is one team a well-oiled machine while the other is just a chaotic mob? Good discipline and preparation will beat raw talent almost every time. And this is the absolute crucial point. Once you understand these 5 factors, you don't guess anymore. Sun Tzu says you do the math. You systematically compare your side against their side across every single one of these categories to find out who really has the upper hand. And this just shows you the process perfectly. Alex does the math. Okay, the way. His team is tight-knit, but the big kids, they're arguing. Advantage Alex. Heaven? The afternoon sun is glaring right in the big kids' eyes. Advantage Alex. Earth? Well, they've got the high ground, you can't deny that. Advantage big kids. But look at the general and the method. Alex is being strategic, while they're just being cocky and disorganized. All of a sudden, this impossible battle doesn't seem so impossible. He's done the math. He has a clear advantage in 4 out of the 5 factors. He can actually win this. So now that Alex knows he has a calculated advantage, it's time to actually use it. But not with some big frontal attack. No, it's time for Sun Tzu's ultimate cheat code, the one that turns a small edge into a guaranteed win. Sun Tzu leans in and whispers his greatest secret. All warfare is based on deception. This is the master key. I mean, knowing your advantages is one thing, but using them to mess with your enemy's perception of reality, that is how you win before the fight even starts. So Sun Tzu gives Alex 3 simple rules for his plan. First, when you are strong, you have to appear weak. Make them completely underestimate you. Second, when you are near, make them think you're far away. Create a distraction. And third, attack their unguarded points. You hit them where they least expect it. And here is the plan in action. So what do the big kids see? They see a small group of decoys acting all scared and making a bunch of noise way off in the woods. They look pathetic. But what's really happening? The main force, Alex's real team, is silently sneaking up right behind them, using the bushes for cover. It's perfect deception. With the math done and the trap set, the outcome is, well, it's not really in doubt anymore. The physical part of the battle is now just a formality. The real victory already happened, right inside Alex's mind. And boom, it works flawlessly. The big kids turn their backs to laugh at those weak decoys off in the distance. And at that exact moment, Alex gives the signal. His team swarms the fortress from the completely unguarded back. It is over in seconds, a clean, decisive, total victory, one without a single real injury. As the winning cheers echo through the park, Sun Tzu fades away, leaving Alex with this one last powerful thought. The Supreme Warrior doesn't win by being the strongest or fighting the hardest. No. They win because, through careful math and clever strategy, they already locked in the victory before the first snowball was ever even thrown. So, I'll leave you with this. Think about your Fortress of Doom, that big project, that tough conversation, that personal goal you're trying to hit. Are you just planning to charge in and hope for the best? Or are you going to take a minute, analyze the 5 factors, and figure out how to win before you even have to fight? That's the art of war. And that choice, as always, is yours.